Okay, so compound interest, I was telling about the compound interest. Let us take an example that we have borrowed the money from anyone or from the bank. This money which we are borrowing is called the principal. This amount is called principal. That is called principal, amount of principal. And it depends on the terms and condition of borrowing it, that if we are borrowing per annum, means 10% compounded per year. Per annum means per year. It can be compounded half yearly, it can be compounded quarterly. That will come later on. So first of all, suppose try to understand what is compound interest. Simple interest, compound interest are different. Compound interest means it is compounded annually. Here annually means if after one year, after 1 year, after 1 year, you have to pay 10% of 1,000. Okay, that is 100. So 1,100 rupees you have to pay back. That is called the amount. So this amount you have to return after 1 year. But not every year you have to pay 100 rupees more. No. Now for the next year, this 10% interest will be on 1,100. That means this will be whenever we are removing the percentage sign, we are putting 100 in the denominator. Of is always replaced by multiplication. These two zeros will be cancelled. We got 110. So next year your interest will be 110. So if you are returning it after 2 years, you have to pay 1,210, because first year 100 was the interest, second year it will be 110. 1,210 amount. So it is what? It is exponentially increasing. So it is increasing. So at the end of the year, the interest is added to the account balance and the sum becomes the new principal, and the new principal, this will become the new principal. Okay, this is P2, and after finding the percent of the new principal, you will get the interest for the second year. So like this it is going on. If we want to find out for the third year, we have to, this will become the new principal, P3 you can say, and then you will find the 10% on 10% of 1,210, that will be added in the old amount, in the previous year's amount. You can find out 10 by 100, 1,210. Okay, these 2 0 will cancel, so 121. So next year you have to pay 121. So your amount will become, for after 3 years, A3 you can say, A3 will be equal to 121 is added in this amount, 1,210 plus 121. So it will become 1,321 rupees. So what we have concluded here, that every year it is exponentially increasing. It is increasing every year. 100, what is increasing? Interest. First year the interest was only 100 rupees because 10% of this was interest. So you can say that interest paid is 100 rupees, 100 reals, and interest paid in the next year is 110 reals, and the third year the interest paid is 121. All 3 years if you will see, 331, this is 31, 331. So 331 total paid after 3 years. So it is exponentially increasing. You have seen yesterday that exponentially increasing 2 raised to power x, because x is equal to 1, you will get 2. When x is equal to 2, 2 raised to power 2, it will become 4. So exponentially increasing means very fast it is increasing. So not with the same rate, different rate, every year different. So that is the calculation. But in order to calculate like this, it is difficult. We are getting one formula. Before that, they have said the same thing. This is A0 amount in the 0 year. Next, then we have not taken. Now we have taken A1, so A0 plus A0 into R. Here R is written in decimals, 10%. R is 10%. So when it is percent, 10 upon 100, we have to write 0.1. So here we can get A0 is P, so this is P into 1 plus R. We can find out P into 1 plus R. Here P is, we are taking the same example. It's P is 100. 1 plus R is 0.1. R is 0.1. 1 plus R. After 1 year, it will become 100 into 1.1. 1.1 into 100, if we will multiply 1.1 with 100, it will come 1100. That is the amount after 1. Initial principle, that means so find 1.1 into 1.1. 121 will come in decimal. 1.21 multiply with 100, decimal will move 2 places right side, so 121. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0. Because 1200 after second year 1210. This is 1000, not 100. Sorry, that's why. This is the amount which is the initial amount we are putting here. P is initial amount. So 1000 multiplied, so we are getting 1210, which is here. I calculated here. This is after 2 years. Here this is also after. So I mean to say that it is not the case when we are going to find out for after 1 year interest from 1 year is added, then after 2 years, 2 years added, 3 years. So we got a formula. The pattern develops leads to the following exponential function. So this will become a formula. So we can directly find out what amount we have to return. The formula is A T amount return after T time is equal to P into 1 plus R raised to power T. But this is the end of the year. We are just interest compounded annually. After every year, the interest is being compounded after every year. Means that the bank is calculating interest on the amount that we borrowed after every year. So after every year, so this is the formula to use for every year. So now we got a pattern, this pattern. So now, for example, I have calculated the amount returned after 3 years. The question is find the amount paid, find amount after suppose 10 years. How much will you pay after 10 years if you have borrowed 1000 rupees, 1000 reals? So 80 is 1000. So 80 means 1000. You can write here 1000 here. It is 1000 in bracket. You can write 10. Sorry, not 1000 because 10 years. So principal is P is 1000. This P is 1000. For our understanding, I have taken an example of 1000 and 10%. So, and the next formula, next term is 1 plus R. R, I have taken 10%. 10% is 0.1 divided by 100 raised to power 10. That means 1000 into 1.1 raised to power 10. So 1.1 raised to power 10, how will you find? Calculator, I told you 1.1 raised to power 10 will be equal to 2 point, as per the result, we are getting about 2.593, so 2.6, we can say 2.6 on approximation. So 2 point, or if we take 2 point exact values, 2.593. 2.593 into 1000. So you are getting 2593.74 is also there. 0.74 exact amount if you want to find. So after 10 years, this much amount you have to return. You can see that 1000 borrowed, but after 10 years, this we have to return. Okay. So that's why it is called the growth, exponentially growth in compound interest, but it is annually. Now we have the parts where we will do the not annually, now quarterly, and the next part. Okay, recording. Okay, started. Now to allow for quarterly, monthly, even daily compounding. Okay, means the bank is calculating quarterly, means 4 times, or half yearly also there. If it is half yearly is also there. Half yearly, or it is called 6 monthly, same thing. 6 monthly. So in 6 monthly, if the same thing, if we see that 1000 rupees, 1000 reals we have borrowed, and for 10% 6 monthly means in a year it will be compounded 2 times. So after 6 months, after 6 months, it's 10%. Same we are taking. If now here depends. If we have 10% per annum, so in 6 months it will become half, because it is 10% per annum. So the rate will become double, and 1 minute, I